And we are live. We should be working. Everything looks good. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the post-market dump live stream Q&A. We'll talk about all things crypto and leverage trading and answer your questions. And I've got questions on the side of the screen here from my last post earlier this week. I've got the live chat feed pulled up here on my other screen. Let's see how many people we got on here today. Oh, if I click the right button. Oh, maybe. Let's see. We got, it's not even showing me, 71. That's a good start. Let's see if we can get a couple more people in here. Also going to talk about my Amazon short for anybody that likes to trade stocks or just likes to learn about some of these setups. Got a pretty high probability short setup on Amazon. So I could talk about that because obviously if I'm shorting, I'm using, I think I'm on, I was on 1.5x leverage and I upped it to 2x leverage. So I don't do high leverage on my swing positions. We have 100 people in here. Let's go. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the PrimeXBT live stream Q&A. If you want to learn about risk management, if you want to learn how to set up trades or look for entries, how to calculate entries, things like that, check out the series, the PrimeXBT series on my YouTube, youtube.com/NebraskanCrypto. I've got a ton of educational shit on there for you guys. And that's my goal for this year, is to keep on pumping out educational content for you. Excuse me, there's just not enough of it around, so I'm trying to get you guys as much free content as I can. So thank you, PrimeXBT, for helping me provide this awesome education for y'all. If you haven't signed up for PrimeXBT, you can sign up below. I do have $2,500 worth of giveaways today. I'm going to do 5 accounts. I'm going to fund 5 PrimeXBT accounts with $500 each. So make sure that you sign up below. You can use that for trading, and then you can withdraw any profits on that. So basically, let me go over this short setup I found that I already entered, and I'll show you guys what I look for in a trade and a setup and why I got triggered entry. And then we'll go through some questions and things like that. But remember, anytime that you enter a trade, you should immediately be looking for an invalidation level and your risk management. So if I want to enter a trade, let's just do a hypothetical. Let me go into like a one-day chart. Let's just do a hypothetical situation here. Let's just say that I want to enter a short right now on Amazon, okay? So I want to enter a short, and let's just say I'm just going to mark an invalidation level. Let's just say this is the invalidation level. Now it's hypothetical. We're just looking at levels. So if I want to enter a short here, my invalidation level is automatically 10%. I don't even care about my target right now. All right, now I want my target to obviously be higher than my risk. So this would be a terrible trade. A 10% risk for a 3% reward is completely worthless. So I want this to be at least 20%. I want at least a 2-to-1 always. If I don't see a 2-to-1, then I can't take the trade. Okay? So if I'm entering here late, I've got a 10% risk. Well, immediately, I obviously can't do 100x leverage, which again, I wouldn't do anyway. But if I do 100x leverage, I'm getting liquidated way before my stop loss. Or actually, even if I do 10x leverage, 10 times 10, that's 100%. I'd be getting liquidated on a 10x leverage position. So I'd have to use like 1 or 2x here, right? Because I don't want to get liquidated on this. So I'm using 1 or 2x because 2x times 10 is 20%. So if I enter a position here and I get stopped out, I'm taking a 20% loss. All right. So on that end, I need to use a smaller position too, because if I go all in on my account at 2x leverage here, I'm taking a 20% account loss, and that's a huge ass loss. I don't want to take that. Okay. So if I just so happen to enter up here, now I've got a 4% risk. Maybe I could use a 5x leverage or a 3x leverage or whatever, because my risk is a little bit lower now and my, invalidation is closer. All right. So my invalidation gets closer. If I'm entering, let's just say that my invalidation's here and I somehow enter here. And this is how I catch some really big trades with really low risk, you guys, is I find the immediate invalidation. So right here, I could technically go all in with 1 or 2x leverage on this trade because I'd be risking, on 2x leverage, I'd be risking 2% of my total account if I entered here. Now that makes it kind of a higher risk of getting stopped out when your stop losses are so tight. But once you get good enough and you've done this enough, you can catch some tight entries like this, really, really low risk, and get some big positions. And that's kind of how I can get some larger positions sometimes, as I catch like what I think is maybe the top or the bottom exactly. And I can kind of get a little bit lucky sometimes having a huge risk to reward on some of these. And you don't need to win all the time. And there's only one top or bottom or only one breakdown retest. So you have to be careful. All right. You have to be really patient and picky on your entries. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to zoom out real quick. And I do see some questions rolling in, you guys. I really appreciate that. I just kind of want to start off by talking a little bit, and then we'll go through the questions. But on the other end of this, first off, I always use TopGoonX for confirmation. And you see here we're losing a lot of momentum. All right, and we already saw this on Bitcoin. On the daily, we started losing a lot of momentum, and look what happened to price. We started dropping, okay? So that's the first thing I'm looking at is Amazon Weekly, TopGoonX, okay? Not a good look. We've got a sell approaching signal here, all right? And we've chopped around. We probably hit the 1.337 fib, and now we're seeing a really big drop in momentum, and we've lost this new low. So it's likely that this momentum carries to the lower part of the zone at least. And if we go through that zone, that's obviously even more bearish. So, but let's get out of that. Just price action wise, we're actually breaking down this uptrend now. So you see that we have this nice kind of breakout here, okay? This nice, we've got a rejection here, and then now we've got a breakout of that rejection. So this is a key point. All right, there's a key point right here. All right, and I can get about maybe like a 45-ish, 30-degree-ish angle here, which is my favorite for a trend, and we have a breakdown now. All right, and we kind of have a rounded top here, which a lot of times is basically just distribution. Okay, we've got this choppy zone in the upper levels, which basically becomes a distribution, and now we're losing that level. So we have subsequently broken down, retested this level, and rejected on it, and now we're seeing a drop. And this is a pretty high probability scenario, you guys. And most times when we break down like this, we go back to the origin of the breakdown. All right, and if we look at mana on crypto, we did the exact same thing. I think we did it on ADA as well. But if we look at mana 4-hour chart, okay, because this was a trade that I caught, we did something very similar here. Okay, and actually it was even more clear on ADA. But on mana, we did this. We had this distribution area. We broke down and retested, and we went back to the origin. Okay, just like that. So it's kind of a very similar setup that I'm looking for on Amazon here. Okay. Where are you? So I did finally enter today just below 3,300. And of course I was, worried about my risk. So that's the first thing I looked at. So what I did was I took a short position right around 3,300, a little bit lower. Okay. And I didn't even focus down here. I looked at my risk first. And it's a very clear breakdown, rejection, so it's pretty likely that my stop loss just needs to be right above this. So for 5%. Now I look for my target, which is, 20%, so this becomes about a 4-to-1, it's 5%, so about a 1-to-4 risk to reward position. I could lose 3 times on this trade, win 1 time, and I'd still be in profit. I'm reading the comments for the PrimeXBT giveaway. I'm going to fund 5 accounts with $500, and you're going to be able to trade with it, and you can withdraw any profits from it. So the bonus has to stay in the account, but from there you can withdraw the profits. But yeah, so thanks PrimeXBT for helping me out with that. But back to my position. Again, we're basically in free fall now. Well, of course, we have this little support here. Okay, but it's probably not going to do much for us. We have OBV starting to break down. That's not a good sign. Okay, so I have pretty good confluence for this trade. Doesn't mean it'll work out. I've got my stop loss here. And today is Thursday, so barring a mega recovery tomorrow, I have a very strong confirmed breakdown here, okay? Now, one other piece of confluence is I always like to see how high time frames look, because if I'm trading on the weekly and the monthly actually looks very bullish, we could have a little bear trap on the weekly. However, if I go to OBV, which is always my first indicator that I go to, you can see this very, very clear double top here on OBV with harsh rejections each time. So basically, if we start to lose any steam here, it's going to be a pretty quick go down, and this could end up just being a distribution zone. We go up, distribute, and go back down. Okay. Which indicators do I use in TradingView? I use TopGoonX, which is this one here. It's a custom indicator I made. It gives weekly, it gives buy and sell signals on all time frames. And actually on the Bitcoin weekly chart, it has given another sell signal, and it's only ever done that 3 times. You see here, so here's one sell signal, and it's a sell approaching signal. Here's another sell approaching signal, and now we've got one more. And you can see what's happened after the other one. So that's a little concerning for me. But anyway, so back to Amazon. I'm easily distracted today because I have been getting no sleep. Amazon, where are you? Okay, so basically that's what I'm looking at, you guys, on like for a setup, is I see that breakdown. I finally can get entry. I see a loss of momentum. So I have some good confluence factors for this. It's a pretty low risk trade. Like I said, I think 2x leverage now, so it's 10% on the position, and I've calculated that out to be about 3.5 to 4% of my account. Okay, so if I get stepped out on this trade, I'm going to lose 4% of my account. If which is fine. It's not going to be devastating. My account overall is up over the last year and a half, so it's not going to be a big deal. I lose 4%, and I can still build back up, right? Okay, so yeah, I appreciate you signing up, you guys. You can sign up for PrimeXBT in the US. I just happen to work from New Zealand when I'm on PrimeXBT. I don't even use a VPN, though. I literally just clicked that I lived in New Zealand. And I signed up, and I don't use a VPN or anything. But yeah, FTX US is starting to do leverage. But yeah, if you subscribe to my YouTube, I really appreciate that as well. But again, if you want to be eligible for the giveaway, you have to have a PrimeXBT account, because I'm going to give you a code which is going to fund your account on there. Okay, so $500. But anyway, all right. So that's kind of my quick intro spiel. I don't like that word. It's weird. Okay, that's my quick intro, you guys. I just kind of wanted to show you my recent setup, why I took it. But we'll flip over to Bitcoin chart, and I'll start answering questions. I can go through questions on here too, but shoot me some questions here. No, you to enter, I'll just give away random funded accounts. Okay, I'll have you DM me. So if I see you on here, I'm gonna ask for your Twitter handle, and you're gonna post your Twitter handle, and then I'll DM you, because otherwise scammers are crazy and they'll find some way to trick me. So if you ask a question that I really like, or if I'm just ready to give away a funded account, I'll just pick a random person, and I'll just ask you for your Twitter handle, okay? And then I'll give you a code on Twitter after the live stream. All you in the US, beware. Like I said, I use PrimeXBT. I have no issues in the US. Hold on one second, guys. I just have to blow my nose. Apologize, my son has finally gone back to daycare, and he always brings home nice germs for me to get runny noses. So let's get going here. Ask questions, you guys, about leverage trading. We'll do that for like 15-20 minutes. Then we can talk about the market crash a little bit, and answer questions on that. You can ask questions about portfolios and things like that. Whoops, I did not mean to hide this. Oh well. So, somebody asked the best way to get TopGoonX. Honestly, TopGoonX.com has TopGoonX alerts right now, but soon I will be adding access to the actual indicator on there. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be adding that as soon as possible. What's your advice for me, who's a 15-year-old, on learning trading because I can't afford an expensive class yet? That's a great question, John. John, how about you send me your PrimeXBT... John, send me your Twitter handle, okay? I'll definitely fund an account for you, okay, John? The 15-year-old who is trying to learn this stuff. That's really cool. I think it's great to learn. I mean, when you're that young, you like if I had as much time as I did when I was a 15-year-old to learn this kind of stuff, I'd probably would have retired at age 20. So, John, send me your but one thing to do is start on my YouTube. Okay, it's really good education. It's not bullshit pumping random tokens or just bullshitting about the market and talking about nothing. Pretty much all my videos you can watch a year later and they're still going to be relevant. Hold on. He said, what? Really? Okay. Start on YouTube. And actually, PrimeXBT probably won't like me saying this, but you can go over to BingBon or BingX.com. And if you make an account there, you can trade virtual currency for free. It's VST. And it's just fake money, fake online money. No, Peerless. Dude, who's this Peerless guy? He said, I live in New Zealand. Sounds like tax avoidance. I can't avoid taxes just because I put New Zealand on PrimeXBT. Any profits I take go straight to my bank account, bro. God, get this guy out of here. Okay, his messages are now hidden. No, it's not tax avoidance. I literally made a fucking crazy 6-figure tax payment 2 days ago, and I'm sad about it. So I wish I was avoiding taxes so I wouldn't have to pay them, but it's not worth avoiding them. So anyway, all right, so back to John's question of where to start. You can go to bingx.com. If you check out my Twitter pinned tweet, I actually have some tutorials on how to sign up there, blah, blah, blah. And I've got a link there if you want to sign up on my link. If not, I don't care. I just want you guys to get the education you need. But BingX, they have virtual currency, so you can practice trading. I think they load your account with 100,000 VST, and if you blow it all, you can just message their chat people, and they'll add it back for you. Okay, so it's a risk-free way to learn how to trade and build strategies. John, okay, hold on, I gotta save this. That's my Twitter, bro. Okay, John, I'm going to... everyone's commenting so fast. All right, John, I'm going to save your Twitter handle. All right. I'm looking you up on Twitter right now to make sure I got the right guy. Samson JV Eldgin. All right, I just messaged you. All right, John, I just messaged you. I'll get you a funded account later. Yeah, start on my YouTube, go to BingX and do their practice virtual currency. And honestly, I think PrimeXBT might have just started some practice thing too. I'll have to check. But okay. But anyway, so let's get back into it. Yeah, John, I got you taken care of. I'll message you. I'll get you taken care of after the stream. All right, let's see some more good questions, you guys. Let me read here. Oh, somebody else already made a BingX account and have already had a few good trades with fake money. You guys, it's awesome to practice with nothing on the line, honestly. So let me make myself a little bit bigger here so you guys can see me. Ooh, you guys know when I'm bigger like this, I talk loud, right? Okay. Weakest dad joke in the book. Okay. These questions are coming in so fast. Do you take students for mentoring? I have no mentoring right now. You guys don't fall for scammers in the comments. I've debated doing like some mentoring stuff. We'll see. I don't want to do the paid group thing again. And if I start a mentorship program, then I'm going to get backlash on Twitter. So we'll see. We'll see how I go about it. I do enjoy helping people. I enjoy passing along education. So maybe in the future I'll figure something out. I really like the way you approach your followers and do something for the community instead of BS bullish influencer stuff. Keep it up, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I run my Twitter like a business, you guys. I'm professional, treat others with respect. I just want to help people because in 2017, 2018, there was nobody helping. Everyone was just posting bullshit, up only, and then everyone got wrecked. And a bunch of small accounts like me at the time were like, no, you guys, we're going to dump. And nobody listened because I had no followers. And I felt terrible because all these people just blindly followed these guys with like 500,000 followers because they assumed they were geniuses because of all the followers they had. And then now those accounts don't even exist anymore on Twitter. So laddering positions. How do you ladder positions? That's a really good question. Zuhab Ali, send me your Twitter handle. I like that question a lot. I wish I could reply to you. So Zuhab, send me your Twitter handle and quit spamming, bro. All right. This dude's spamming like crazy. Yes, I got your question, bro. Please don't spam, you guys. I'm not going to give any spammers any more funded accounts. So please don't spam. If I don't get to your question, post it again in a minute or whatever. Okay. The question is how to ladder into a position. It's a great question. Let's take a look. Okay. One reason you would ladder is because you don't know exactly where the bottom is going to be. So you're just laddering. You're saying, all right, price is overextended. At some point, we're going to bounce, right? So let's just even look here at this candle, okay? This is dumping. You don't want to knife catch this, but you want to, be able to get into a good position. So invalidation, well, actually, just a major support level is here, right? This is a major support level. Okay. We got a lot of support built here. It's above this area. We bounced here, whatever. So this is a major support level. So you could maybe start entering a position here. Okay. And then entering a position here. And I usually do about 3. And I don't usually go to the bottom of my zone. I usually go, maybe about halfway. I probably would have laddered to here, and I probably would have gotten missed out. I usually front run myself a little bit too, okay? Which means if I want to buy at like 40,000, I would buy at like 40,300 or something. I would just front run myself a little bit. Oh shit! My bad. Okay, hold on. I'm smaller. Here we go. My bad, guys. I forgot that I zoomed out or zoomed in. Okay. So we can't see candle. My face is in the way. Realize your camera. Okay, Zuhab, I need to see your Twitter handle, though. I know you've been spamming. Post your Twitter handle real quick so I can see it, and then I'll get back to the question. You guys are hilarious. Okay. I need a YouTube assistant. I probably do. All right. Where's Zuhab? Where's the voice? Come on. Send me your Twitter handle, please. Okay, I'm going to give up here in a second. All right, let's go back to this. So you're going to find a zone, and you're not going to be sure where this bids are going to go, and you don't want to go all in knife catching like right here, right? If you go all in here, you're going to get like a over 10% drawdown. So where is this Zuhab guy? So what you're going to do is you're going to just ladder entries, and you're going to have an average entry somewhere. Now, your first entry is probably going to be smaller. So maybe like 25% of your position. So you're going to ladder like 25% at the top of your support zone. And again, you can do this however you want. I usually do like 25% here. Another 25% here. At my second entry. And then my last entry is going to be my biggest. Where's that? With 50%. Or sometimes I don't even set bids on this last entry. I do it manual. So I just wait to see price start bouncing or forming a low time frame bottom, and then I'm going to add that extra 50%. Okay, that's how I like to do it. So I usually ladder 2 entries. My last entry is I'm going to either enter it manually or not enter at all. So if this just started bouncing and I didn't feel confident, I would just leave this off the table. Now, if you are laddering, don't get discouraged if your lowest entry doesn't hit, okay? If your lowest entry doesn't hit, that's fine. Oh, hold on, I got your Twitter handle. Bam. Capture. I'm going to message you quick on Twitter, so I have you saved, and I'll get you... shoot, wrong button. I'm disappearing. Okay. Hold on, I got to search this guy quick. All right, I messaged you on Twitter so I can get you hooked up. Okay, so if your lowest bid doesn't hit, you're never losing money. You are never losing money if your lowest bid does not hit. So don't get discouraged if you ladder and your lowest bid doesn't hit. Now, you are not going to ladder this wide of a zone with high leverage. All right, you're going to maybe do 2x tops or not use leverage at all. If I ladder, it's usually with spot entries. Now, alternatively, okay, you guys, I will ladder on low time frames occasionally if I don't know where the top is. So let's go back. We're going to talk about my Amazon trade from earlier because, all right, let's see, 1 week. Hold on, I need a drink here. I got to get this energy drink to keep me awake. Now, let's say I don't know exactly how high we're going to retest. Okay, let's say maybe I think we could retest all the way up to like this area, okay? All the way up to the top of this box, and I don't know where we're going to retest, so I might just go down to like low time frames and say, all right, I'm going to short here, okay, because we're at a resistance, and actually there's no rejection there. I would probably more do it, I'm trying to find a good example. I would probably more do it like this, so I would probably enter on a rejection somewhere like here. Okay, we rejected. I'd probably enter here. And then we reject again. I'd probably enter a little bit here as we reject. Okay. And then if we went up again, I'd probably ladder a little bit more here. Like that's how I would do it. I'm not going to just like set bids because let's say this candle just went straight up and then another candle went straight up and I'm just laddering blindly and have bids sit here. I'm going to get blown through, or asks, I should say. So I like to manually ladder a lot, especially on low time frames when I think we're going to drop. Like let's say here. Let's say here I think we're going to drop, and I don't know exactly where, but my 2 hours shows that we're bearish. So I expect us to drop in this resistance somewhere, okay? And this is my invalidation. So I might take like a very small position right here, and then another very small position here, and then we get this rejection. I'm going to add more because this is my invalidation close behind. Okay, so once I see a rejection or an invalidation, that's where I can add more, add a little bit of size. If I'm adding on these big green candles to a short, then I'm going very small. Vice versa, if let's say I want to long this, okay, let's say I want to long this, and let's just say this is a support, which it is. Shit, wrong thing. Okay, because a lot of you guys like to long, and you're better at it, which is fine. I'm better at shorting. So here's a support here, okay? And let's just say I think we're going to bounce back up to here, okay, to 33.90. What I would do is I would wait for some sort of support hold. So if I see this support hold, I might add a very, very small position here, okay, somewhere in here. But it's going to be very small because, look, I haven't reached my support yet, and there's a long way. This is my invalidation. So there's a long way here, so I might go like 10%, 15% of my position just to get a position in. If we go up, great, I made some profit on my small position. If we go down, I'm not losing big on my large position. So now, as we're dropping, I can't ladder here because there's no reason to. There's no support hold. We drop again, and we've got this big wick. So now, as I see this big wick holding, I can start laddering. Hopefully you guys can see. Yes, okay, you can. Just making sure. Okay. So now I can ladder and basically know that I added more here. I can add more to my long here. And now if I get stopped out, my invalidation is close by. Or if we just start to drop and I went pretty big, I could just get out. Like I'm in profit now slightly. So if we start to drop and I don't see a reaction I'm looking for, I would just get out. Okay. Now, if I think we could still hold and maybe get one more drop, and I still have some position left, I can add a little bit more down here if support holds. Okay. So I'm always playing it proactively on low time frames, and I'm always cautious, and I need to add on confirmation. So that's how I play it on laddering. But high time frames, especially if you feel confident in a support, like let's just look back at Mana. Let's go to Mana real quick on the high time frame. Actually, Sushi was a good example. Okay. So Sushi's up here. Okay, Sushi's a very good example of when laddering would have worked. So I'm going to go to the daily. Okay. Now, we had this rejection here, and I actually was short Sushi from like 920, okay? And I closed at 890 or something. Anyway, we have, let's just, can I replay this? Replay. How do I, replay. I don't know how to replay. Hold on. Ah, shit, wrong thing. Okay, this is fine. So let's play this. Boom, boom, boom. Shit, I don't know how to replay. Hold on, you guys. Okay, right here. Okay, so we replayed this, and now we're dropping, right? Where am I going to set my bids? Well, I have a 22 EMA here, which is usually a strong EMA, and I have a strong consolidation and breakout here. So I could feel kind of confident setting some bids down here in this area. Let me zoom in, okay? So look at this. We've got a nice strong uptrend, consolidation, which builds a support base, and then we break up. Now, where's our support base built? It's kind of here, but not really, and we're losing this support. But my next support base is here, and I have EMA confirmation. So I have two reasons that I could potentially, what the hell just happened? See a support hold here, okay? Tits. All right, hold on. So I have two reasons that I could potentially see a support hold here. So having multiple reasons of support or multiple support levels on different time frames gives you more confirmation, okay? So now we play this out and we want to see price start to drop. Okay, so what I would do here is, for me personally, I would probably set a small bid, like 25%, right at this EMA, right above it. So at like $8, let's say. 801 because I don't like round numbers. So 801, okay? And my target would probably be back up here. Okay, so 12%. And my risk would be 5% below this wick, below the support zone. Okay, so this is how I would set this trade up. And I would enter 25% here, which 25% of my position at 5% risk. And then I could set bids lower, okay? When you can set bids lower, but for me, I usually just do a small laddered position or a small builder position, and then I look manually on lower time frames, okay? And then we did get good confirmation on lower time frames, so I probably would have added another at least 25%, if not 50%, or the rest of the position. Now, the rest of the market looked iffy, so it probably would have been best to just, reduce size a little bit and play it a little bit more safe. But I set bids at the top of my zone, and then I'm probably not going to expect it to go lower than here, honestly. 793. It might go a little bit lower, but this is a major support level. So we hit play again. Let's see where it goes next. Okay, we just completely ate through this shit. So this is why. Well, actually, what happened was we bounced and then ate through this. So let's go down to lower time frames. Okay, because we did bounce. And we hit my target as well. And so you can see here, I only got 25% filled, and maybe that's all I would have gotten filled because we went pretty much straight up. So maybe I only got 25% filled, and I would have had some bids sitting here that didn't get filled, or I wouldn't have added or had time to add any more position. Either way, this would have been a profitable trade, low risk, and I would have taken my damn, that was like a perfect take profit. Look at that, right at my level. And then trade's over, I would pull any extra bids. So like I said, you guys, if your bids don't get filled, you're never losing money. So it's a great way to have your heaviest bids lowest, because that's kind of when you'd get most scared anyway, right? So hope that helped a little bit. Like I said, I could have gone to lower time frames to like the 1 hour and been like, oh, this is a nice panic sell, inverted candle. Maybe I would have entered a little bit more on this bullish engulfing. Okay, on this candle, maybe I would have entered a little bit more and then tightened my stop loss to reduce my risk. So there's so many ways you can manage these, and I like to actively manage because I like to see what's happening and I like the market to tell me what's happening before I actually take my positions. Because vice versa, we could have just sliced right through this and I could have gotten filled on all my bids and we just went straight through this and I lose like 20% immediately, right? Now, obviously, I have a stop loss, but again. All right, let's check some more questions. So somebody asked, Adnan Rao said, how do you grow a small account and how do you rotate your capital? He usually gets stuck trading the same assets while others pump. Adnan, send me your Twitter handle, please. I'll give you a fund account for you. Okay, so that's a pretty good question, you guys. How do you start a small account? Well, it depends on your capital, okay? He said $1,000. If $1,000 is a lot of money to you, you have to treat it safely. Now, if I start an $1,000 account, I can be a little bit more degenerative with it, a little bit more high risk, but knowing that if I lose $1,000, it's not going to be detrimental, right? I'm not going to be, hold on, you guys, I'm trying to set up my thing bigger so you guys can see me. So it's not going to be detrimental to me if I lose $1,000, okay? Now, if I start a $200,000 account and I degen on it, that's going to be detrimental to me. That's a lot of money for me to lose. I don't want to lose $200,000, okay? That's way higher than my risk management would allow me. So if you lose, so that you have to take that into account when you start to try to build an account, okay? Next, if it's a lot of money to you, you need to play it safe. You need to risk small amounts, okay? And you just have to know that over time, as your account grows, you'll start making money a little bit faster. But if you can double a small account, and it's actually easier to double a small account because you're not emotionally trading. And that's the problem a lot of people make is they start with like, especially this bull run. Okay. This bull run, a lot of people start with like $10,000 and they like 10x'd it and now they have $100,000, or they start with 20,000 and they turn into like 500,000. And they think, all right, well, I turned 20,000 into 500,000, so I can turn 500,000 into 10 million. And it doesn't work that way. Liquidity issues when you start trading with larger size. All right. You get more slippage. Your fees are higher. So there's a lot of things that go into it when you start trading with more money. You have to start diversifying more, yada, yada, okay? So the best way to grow a small account is to just be patient with it and think long-term and not short-term. Like, oh, I'm only up $10 today. Oh, I'm only up $12 today. Think about it in percentages of the account. 10% on a $1,000 account is a lot. 10% of account growth a day is a lot of money. So if you have 10% account growth, only $100 on a $1,000 position, well, just wait. If you do that, if you just do 10% account growth for 10 days, you've now doubled your account. Okay? And then now you're you're growing money faster because now that your account's doubled, you do 10% again, you're gaining $200 a day now. And now you double your account again in another 2 or 3 weeks, okay? And now you're getting $400 is 10%, all right? So I see your Matic crypto, nice. So wow, what a snag on that handle. Good job, well played. Let me DM you quick, and then I'll answer the second part of that question. Okay, I DM'd you. Let me answer the second part of your question, okay? So pump chasing, you guys. The worst thing you can do is pump chase. If you get into a position, you got to hold it because there's nothing worse. And I did it with Algo. What else pumped? Oh, Atom pumped, okay? I had to choose between Atom or Algo. I chose Algo, which was wrong, which is the wrong pick, but okay, let's see Atom real quick. You cannot pump chase, you guys. You're going to get wrecked too often if you pump chase, just so you know. There's nothing worse. So that's a good reason to keep extra capital so you can, get into other positions. All right, let's see. What was the December? I don't know. Let's just start at December 20th, okay? Which I was on vacation, but we'll start with December 20th on both charts. All right. So they were both basically unpumped. You could have picked either one, right? But you see here, Atom did like a nice, after this initial pump, Algo went up 9% and Atom went up 30%. All right, so I picked the wrong one. But the problem is, you guys, a lot of times what you'll do is, let's say that Algo, like you'll just jump back and forth. So let's say you didn't buy either of these yet, all right? And you go like really heavy into Algo, right? And it's just sitting here going sideways. And now all of a sudden you get into Atom right here. Okay, so you jump into Atom here because it's pumping. And now it goes sideways for 2 days. Well, what happens in those 2 days? Algo pumps 10%. And you're like, shit, I was just in Algo. It pumped 10%. Now Algo's going to moon and Atom's going to pull back or go sideways. So you jump back into Algo up here at the top. And then Atom pumps another 10%, right? or 20% or whatever, and you're like, shit, and then you jump back in over here, right? So it's just, you can't jump in, you got to pick one. If you want to pick two charts, if you're stuck between two charts, rather than putting 100%, oh shit, you guys, fuck me. I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. All right, that was only like a couple minutes, so. All right, here's the deal, you guys. So the problem is, you get into one asset because it's pumping, and it stops moving. Actually, I should do it like this, so we could compare the same days. Okay, what happens is, you get into one asset because it's pumping, right? And it goes sideways. And then it drops, and the other one pumps, and so you get in. So you get back into Atom, you know, you get in, you have to pick one. But you really shouldn't, you should just pick both. If you like two charts, do both. Leave capital on the sideline to pick both. But you don't. So you get into Atom here. All right. Or you get into, you chase Atom here, and then it goes sideways. And then Algo starts pumping the next day, and Atom is dropping. So then you get back into Algo here, okay? And now, Atom starts pumping. And you're like, shit, Algo's going sideways, Atom's pumping, I got to get back into Atom. So you get back into Atom up here, and it goes sideways for 2 days. And then what happens? In those 2 days, Algo then pumps. And you're like, damn it, I should have been in Algo. So you get back in Algo, then Atom goes up 30%. And then you're like, it's just an emotional roller coaster, and it screws you over. So what we need to do is just get in both. All right? Set your risk to reward, go half in each of your position that you're going to use for one of them. All right? And it's that simple. That's how I've started to do it. Rather than pump chasing, you just leave capital on the sideline to get into both. And that's what a lot of people don't do is they have like a $10,000 account, okay? $10,000 account, and they just put in like all of it into one position, or they put in like $8,000 into one and then $2,000 into the other, and they are just flip-flopping that money because they want more money in the one that's going bigger. So really what you should do is if you have a $10,000 account, you should put like 1 or 2,000 in each of these. All right, so you put like 1,000 over here, and then you put another 1,000 over here, and then you find another good chart, you put 1,000 into that. All right, and you just you have so much money to diversify, and you're not sitting here watching one chart while the rest of the market pumps. You're not sitting here overexposed to one chart, and you can let it run a little bit. And you're not flip-flopping back and forth, getting eaten up on fees, buying the top before it drops, okay? So it's a lot about patience, and when there's a real true alt season, you're going to panic. You're going to sell something that's going sideways because the rest of the market's pumping. And then when you get into something that's pumping, it's going to go sideways to consolidate, and the thing that hasn't pumped is going to pump on you without you in it. So some people keep asking if I use Fibonacci levels. I really only use Fibonacci levels with TopGoon X. So just so you guys know. Oh man, that sun is in my eyes. Maybe this will help. Okay. Let's see. Some other questions. How do you divide your funds when it comes to cash, trading, and HODL? Honestly, you guys, hold on. I have a freaking awesome video for that. I'm not even going to explain it here. I'm going to show you what it is called. It's the best video for this kind of question. All right. So go to my YouTube. Whoa. You guys can still use. All right. Go to my YouTube. It's the Trading for Beginners series fund allocation. This talks about how I split up my accounts, how I can manage funds, keep my risk low, all that good stuff. So check that video out after this. What is my longest daily P&L losing streak? And do you have a daily loss limit where I stop trading? Usually after a couple trades don't go my way, I'm like, all right, well, this sucks. I'm done. Or like if the market's bad, if it's volatile, if there's volatility, I can usually make my losses back because I have price fluctuations up and down. If it's just sideways, I can't make my money back and I'll just be done. So that's kind of how I look at it, is like if I take a couple losses in the same direction, like let's say I'm shorting and price goes up and stops me out, and then I short again and price just flies through it and stops me out, I'm going to be like, okay, clearly shorting isn't working. maybe I need to stop shorting and just sit out for a minute, or maybe I need to wait for like price to just go crazy and me feel FOMO and then short, and vice versa for longing. Okay. Now, if there's no volatility and the market's just really sideways like this on low time frames, I can't make my money back because there's no fluctuations. So it would take me a lot of trades, or it's just choppy and there's no volume. And so if I'm down already, I'm just gonna be like, well, I'm toast. I'm not going to make it back. I got to step away before I lose more money. Now, like I said, if there's a ton of volatility, I'm going to sit back for a second. I'm going to reassess the market, look at my levels a little bit, and I'm going to be like, okay, now I've got a clearer picture. I'm going to catch a trade if this happens. So, Richard C. Wait, who asked that question? Anyway, so yeah, so that's kind of how I do it, you guys. My longest losing streak is probably like 10 days or something. I don't even know. There's some times where I'm literally just like can't freaking win a trade for like daily because the market's just, you get kind of out of sync sometimes. Sometimes you're really in sync and you're like, oh, this is going to go up here and then down here and up here and then it's going to keep going, and you're just like, you feel like a god. And then there's other times where you just miss one, or like you're like, oh, the market's going to go here. Have you guys ever done this? I hate when I do this. I'm like, okay, let me delete this shit. I'm going to be like, all right, Bitcoin's going to go here and I'm going to buy. All right. And you're like, you're in sync. You're like, okay, this is what's going to happen. Bitcoin's going to go here. I'm going to buy. All is going to be well. And then up here, it bounces and it keeps going. You're like, shit, it's not going down there. I'm going to buy here. And you buy here and you overexpose. You take a big loss and then it dumps on you and you're like, shit, it went where I thought it was going to go. And you lost money on the way, even though you were right. And then you don't know what to do, right? You're like, shit, you're like out of sync. So then you buy early or you buy late and you don't have a plan, or you're emotionally trading, and then you get chopped up and you lose a shit ton of money. And then you just stop. You're like, God, I got to quit. And then you look and you're like, damn, this is literally bouncing where I thought it was going to bounce. Like, I just screwed up. I just traded this poorly. I messed up. And you have to acknowledge that and then just be like, all right, I got to take a day off. Hold on, it's hot in here. All right. And then you got to take a day off. And you got to be like, all right, I'm going to reassess. I'm going to come back, check the market later today, tomorrow, the next day, whatever. Because otherwise you're just out of sync now and you're like, well, is it going to go lower? Is it going to go higher? I don't know anymore. And then what happens is you start over trading and you're just out of sync now, and you miss every move on the way, and you're just slightly wrong on that move. But had you have just waited for your area to hit, you would have been like, oh, you would have made that money. You would have nailed that trade, but you get out of sync on one move and it kind of messes with your psyche, and you get out of sync on the next move, and it's just a slippery slope of being just wrong on every single move, and you can lose a lot of money that way. Incredibly difficult market to trade for a beginner. How do you go about it if you're a beginner? You don't have to trade. You don't have to risk money. You can literally just sit back and study, which is literally what I did in 2018. I took out all my money in February or March or whenever. It was on the bounce to 10. It was on the bounce to like 12K. Back in 2018, we did this crazy bounce from 6K back up to like 11 or 12K, and we got back under 11K, and I just cut everything I had. And I didn't put back any money for like 3 or 4 months. I just studied, learned, figured out how to trade, and then I put a little bit of money back, started trading with it, lost some of it, made some of it back. It was small amounts, and I was just kind of like floating back and forth, like between profitability and non. But I was being really, really, really careful because I knew we were in a bear market. And then my risk management through that, I was never really taking huge losses, so I never got down on myself. I never like blew crazy big accounts. So it's just easy to keep trying to build up. And finally, I would just see my account start to grow. And I was like, oh shit, this account's growing. This is nice. And then of course the market went crazy, and it was like, oh, well, this is easy now. I just kind of maintained. I slowly built my capital in the bear market, very, very slowly. And then when the bull market hit, my capital took off because I had money left over to be in trades and to be sitting in positions and whatnot, right? So the key is really not to lose all your money when the market's going down, because the next time the market goes up, you're going to make a ton of money if you have good risk management. All right. Now, I might not have maximized my profit. There's probably some 7 figures profits. There's millions of dollars I left on the table, but I took in enough money to be life changing and to be happy about it. And I don't care. I don't think about what I could have had. Like, I just don't, because over time, I'm not taking these huge account hits. I'm not taking millions of dollar losses like you see online. And my overall nest egg, my overall net worth is protected, and I'm not having large drawdowns on that ever. And I won't let ever happen again. There's always risk management involved to any strategy I use now. Somebody asked how to find a mentor when I'm studying a lot and can't find answers to some questions. ArtFT, send me your Twitter handle. I'll hook you up with a funded account. I got one more funded account to give away. All right. So basically, how to find a mentor, honestly, I just asked a lot of people on Twitter questions, like over and over. I would but not only just asking questions, I would like post a chart under their comments, and I wouldn't be shilling it. I would be like, oh, look, this is going to happen. Everyone follow me. I wasn't trying to piggyback their followers. I would say, hey, so I see that you posted this RSI. Look on my chart. Does this look right to you? Or how do you use RSI in this situation? Or whatever. Because people that you can tell accounts that really want to help, like me, True Crypto, Income Sharks. There's a lot of us that will really help you if you ask questions in the right way. But a lot of people just post argumentative posts or post charts opposing, and they don't actually want to ask a question. They just want to like argue or share an opposing view, and we just don't have time for that all day. So ask questions as much as you want. Be respectful. Feel free to DM accounts. I can't help all the time, but when I have free time, I will try to answer DMs and things like that. All right, I got your Twitter handle here. I'm going to message you. But it's just finding the right people. A lot of people just don't care about their followers, and that's the truth. A lot of people don't care about their followers. They're just trying to monetize Twitter. They don't really care about helping people, things like that. So, you got to find the right mentors. Trading Room app was a huge mentor for me when I was young, but like you can just tell people that like really are driven and are really going to take the information away. If I try to help somebody and they're pretty arrogant about it, or they don't really like seem to be receptive of it, then I'm not going to waste my time. Whereas if I have somebody that he asks me a question or whatever, and then a week later he comes back with like 10 million things he did to like put into act what I said, and then he's asking another question to build on that, yeah, I'm going to want to help you, like you're driven. It seems like my time is going to be worth it. For Trading Room app, he put a lot of time into helping me and answer questions, and you can like, I'm sure it's nice for him to see how much his help paid off from how much success I've had in the markets from seriously directly from his help. He's helped me a ton. So somebody asked how many charts I look at per day. It just depends. If I have a lot of active trades, I'm not going to look at any new charts. If I have no active trades or the market's popping, if the market's really hot and everything's rocketing, okay, hold on. Somebody's spamming, sorry. All right. Okay. Depth chart is worthless, by the way. Okay. What was my question? Sorry, I was getting rid of that spammer. Oh, how many charts do I look at per day? Okay. So it just depends on how many. If I have 5 open positions, I don't need to open anymore, right? So if I have 0 open positions, I might look at a few more charts, throw them on my watch list, and then find some good setups. If I don't have an immediate good setup, but I like the chart or the chart's trending, then I'm going to be more willing to trade it. Like I like a lot of action. So if I pull up Sushi and I see this, I'm not going to trade this. Okay, there's nothing for me to trade. It's just too sideways, and it's just easy to get chopped up. There's no momentum. When you get momentum is when you get moves in whatever direction, right? So how do I turn this off? Okay, so now I see Sushi doing this kind of shit, and that's when I start getting interest, especially because it hit a major resistance. And I say, okay, this is where panic sellers are going to come in because a lot of people are going to FOMO and buy the top of this. Excuse me. Or vice versa, this is going to break out and it's going to moon. So I know I'm going to get a trade soon here because we just got a major reaction, a lot of volume coming in. Algo was the same. Well, Algo is very choppy on the weekly, but on the daily, we had gotten this, and I was like, okay, this is going to bring volatility, and we bounced. Yay. Of course, I got stopped out on this wick here because I had gotten in up here. And what I was waiting for was this. I just wanted to break out of this. And when we break this out, we usually moon. I thought we were going to break out. Obviously, Bitcoin had different ideas, but I knew we were going to get volatility. Unfortunately, it wasn't like Atom, and I just happened to pick the wrong chart. See, Atom broke above this breakdown, okay, and it mooned. That's exactly what I thought Algo was going to do, and it didn't. But you could see why I wanted to trade a chart like this, okay, rather than a chart like this, because you never know when it's going to break out. All right. The fake you trying to scam me and all. Thanks for helping. No, I appreciate all you guys following me. I really do. Somebody asked how I developed my own indicator. Basically, I was sick of people's indicators telling me to buy after the fact. Have you ever seen an indicator that says, it like gives a buy signal here, right? It's like, buy. Okay, that's great. Cool. But it tells you to buy after price is already here and not down here. TopGoon X tells you when to buy. So I don't even know a good one. I honestly can't. I probably won't even be able to find. Litecoin at weekly chart is the only one I know of. It tells you to when a buy is coming, right? So look at this. Okay, it helps you from buying the top basically. Look, this plus here is a buy approaching. So it's saying buy the dip. And now you have rules and stuff. I'm not going to get into that. But my first buy would have been around here if that held, and it didn't hold. So then my next buys would have been somewhere down here, okay, off the buy approaching alert, okay. So what TopGoon X is telling me is to buy soon. So when I get this alert, I can set this chart on my watch list, wait for a dip. If I get a dip, I can buy, and you see that I got that nice buy approaching. So I like things that are going to tell me when I'm going to be thinking about buying or thinking about selling soon in the near future, rather than, oh, hey, buy now after I'm already up 30%, okay? So that was part of my thinking on this, and I basically just put a strategy, had a strategy in my mind, and I had Satoshi Heavy help me put it onto an indicator, and we literally spent weeks just tweaking every single level. Like you can see here, when we cross the zones, we get a pullback, so this is the mid zone of the trend, but just telling me a trend continuation. But you can see here, we got a little pullback first. As we cross this zone, it's going to tell me that we're hitting resistance, but we're going to go up and we're going to be bullish. And then again, we cross this zone, and now we had another pullback, but it still says bullish continuation and yada yada. So then here, this is bearish continuation, but we get a bounce in the other direction. So anyway, that's how it works. I love it. It's obviously not 100% foolproof, but it works really well for me. So, oh, wrong thing. So yeah, I got like 5 more minutes left, you guys, 10 more minutes, and then I got to get going. Somebody said my goal as a beginner is to make $100 a day. What goals did I have as a beginner, and how did those evolve as I improved? Paul, send me your Twitter handle. I'll get you hooked up with the last $500 on PrimeXBT. Remember, you guys, you have to have a PrimeXBT account to claim it. But honestly, $500 a day or $100 a day, it's a great goal. I don't really have like a goal anymore like that, but for a while I was like, can I take $1,000 or a $5,000 account and just make $100 a day? And if I made my $100, I would just stop. And it's a really good way to not overtrade and to be patient and find good setups, because if you're trading all day, or if you're trading for an hour and you only need to find one trade, you could be very patient. Right? You can be patient. You're not forcing anything. You're not like trying to make a ton of money. You're just like, I just want to wait for the right opportunity. I can get a quick in and out, and I can be done, and I'm done for the day. And $100 a day is like $36,000 a year, right? So that's a good side hustle until you turn it into a main hustle. For me now, I just try to catch a couple home runs a year and have a couple big wins a year to make most of my profit. And everything else is just kind of like small wins here and there. If I make $1,000 a day, great. If I make $500 a day, great. Sometimes I still have 10 or 20, $30,000 days. So it just varies, but I don't try to like force like $100,000 win or anything crazy like that. And I'm always just focusing on my risk management. And a lot of times on a leverage position, I'll risk like $300, $500, and my reward is like $2,000 or $3,000. So pretty low risk, decent reward trades, and I'm not degenning. I'm not going crazy. I'm just making a steady, nice income. Yeah, you guys. What else you guys have? I hope you guys found this helpful. Of course. But I'm planning on doing. Oh, I got you, Paul. I'm planning on doing more live streams, you guys. All right, more question and answers, more analysis type things. So stay tuned for that coming. I'm also gonna do literally like, oh, Paul, I know you. What's up, man? I just DM'd you back. Cheers, Paul. So I'm gonna do like a $20 portfolio tracker if you guys want to follow along with that. It's literally so obviously it's not gonna work as well this year for holding and swinging, but we'll find some trades here and there. It'll all be low risk. We'll see if we can maintain a profit on our account, and we're probably gonna have to take less trades and be more careful and more risk averse. But it's gonna be $20 a month. It's just gonna be a Telegram group. You guys will be able to watch my team's strategy. That we don't really post on Twitter. We just kind of had this strategy last year trying to grow some accounts, behind the scenes. So we're going to take it into a group. We're just going to post updates. Start with I don't know what balance yet, and we'll just post, kind of like our entries and our risk management, mostly for educational purposes, obviously. And then hopefully, you guys will take something away from it. It's going to be dirt cheap. It's going to be like $20. Like I said, I'm not going to charge a ton. I don't really care about that. But obviously I have to pay some of my team members to help me run that anyway. Make sure it's organized and, all that stuff. So, yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing soon. Probably next week I'll release that. So stay tuned for that. I've got a ton more videos coming out on YouTube, you guys. More education. I get a lot of people asking me for live scalping, live trading. So I'll consider more of that, or even just some videos on, finding trade entries, or maybe I'll just record myself scalping someday and post it. The problem is if I'm scalping on a 1 minute chart or a 5 minute chart, my feed is delayed. So I'm not going to do that live because I don't need people trying to copy and taking late entries or late exits, because sometimes I can be like, oh, I'm cutting this shit. And then 5 seconds later, it tanks. Like if I long on a 1 minute chart with a tight invalidation, like let's say I long here. Well, this is a 1 hour, but pretend this is a 1 minute chart. If I long here, knowing my invalidation is here, and I have to cut immediately, and I got people trying to copy me, and it just tanks on them in 10 seconds, I can't be having that. So I'll find a responsible way to do it. Maybe eventually I'll create like a trading course for low time frames, which would probably be the best way to go about it, because there's a lot of fundamentals you have to understand about low time frames. You can't just start trading low time frames. So I got a lot in the works this year, you guys. I want to bring a lot of content, and I want to make it, affordable for most of it's free anyway. Anything that I have to pay people to help me edit or manage, things like that, I'll have to charge a little bit, but I'm gonna make it affordable. I'm not going to charge insane amounts of money or anything like that. So, no, I appreciate all you guys following. It's funny, somebody in Nebraska recognized me yesterday from Twitter at like a restaurant, so that was kind of funny. But honestly, guys, I'm really here to try to help. I love all the positive comments, and the community's been so awesome. So it's really rewarding to be able to help out. And I honestly just enjoy, I've always enjoyed education. I always enjoyed sharing things. I'm really attention to detail oriented. So I just have a lot of fun sharing, things that I've found out about the markets and kind of little tricks that I find and things like that. So yeah, you guys, let's do more live streams coming up. I'm gonna try. My goal is gonna be to basically do a weekly live stream, regardless of what the content is. So stay tuned for that. But thanks again for joining. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please help me get to 20,000 subscribers. I'm so close. That's kind of that was a goal for me last year, was to get to 20K, and I didn't meet it, but I got pretty close. So I'm pretty happy. I really, you guys, thank you for all the nice comments. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And I'm definitely going to keep getting as much content to you guys as I can, helping you guys with risk management, because I don't want to see people blowing their accounts. It's fine to take losses. We're going to all take losses, but the key is small losses and big wins. And I don't know if you guys have seen, oh, look, I remembered. Ayo. I want to be over here right now. There we go. Okay. So the key, you guys, in over a month or two, you want to look at your account. Okay. Here's your homework. If you're trading over the next month, all right, what is it? January 6th. So over the next month, I want you to look at your account by the end of January, and I want you to see if your account goes like this. Even if it goes up, is it going like this, or is it going like this? Okay. This is what you want. You can have large draw, even if you have some large drawdowns, like some extended period drawdowns like this, and they're nice and slow, you're doing all right. Okay, because eventually you're going to get that big win that's just going to fly your account. You have to avoid this shit. This is no risk management. This is going too big, overexposing. All right, and all it takes on an account like this, you could be having an account like this. All right, and you're killing it. All it takes is one day like yesterday for this to go back to zero. Okay, so please, at the end of the month, review your P&L on your account. If it looks like this, you're doing it wrong. If it looks like this, you're on the right track. And even if you're not very profitable, or maybe you kind of go back to break even. All right, maybe by the end of the month, your account looks like this. All right, and you're barely profitable or about break even. You're on the right track. You're taking small losses. They're calculated. You're not gambling. Okay, so this applies to trading accounts, right? Rather than hold accounts. Yeah, HODL accounts are different. Now, I like to ladder out on the way up. I've been laddering out my HODLs the whole damn way up. Even some of them at 40K. I don't care. If we go lower, I'm gonna start buying back. I added a bunch of Bitcoin at 53K and I sold it at 65K. And then I moved a bunch of that into my bank account, and then I started trading alts with some of that. And I don't care at this point I could just keep trading, but if Bitcoin gives me huge discounts at some point in the future, I'm ready for it. So, if you long-term hold and you got good entry, if you're in from 3 or 5 or 10K and you want to keep holding, great. If you're in from 50K or 40K or 30K, you need to consider when maybe you want to take some profits, at least shave. There's nothing ever wrong with shaving some profits, in my opinion. That's just me. So, we'll do one more question. I'm going to take off, you guys. Somebody asked what the best approach is of risk management when scalping with a tight stop loss. If you're a pro and you're really good at it, you can get away with scalping with a tight stop loss. All right. I use mega tight stop losses on low time frames, but the higher the time frame, the wider my stop loss has to be. If you're getting stopped out a lot, you need to reduce your position sizes and widen out your stop loss until you figure out where you're getting stop hunted at. Once you figure out where you're getting stop hunted at, you wait for those stop hunt entries. So you wait for that little last panic sell before you long. All right. So just start learning and being aware of that. I made 5K because of you. Thanks. My plan is to pay my student loans or find a sugar mama. Epic. Yes, Paul. Get it. Paul is going to be a sugar daddy from Bitcoin. That's hilarious. Responded to your video idea request via Twitter DM. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. That's all for me. I appreciate you all. Stay tuned for more content. Please subscribe to my channel. And I've got more coming soon, live streams and all that good stuff. So thanks again for all your support and all your positivity, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace. Streams and all that good stuff. So thanks again for all your support and all your positivity, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.